What's interesting about how the movie was shot is it's kind of like everyone was the star of their own little movie, and that is really different and interesting. And like when I was shooting, I was the only actor there a lot of the time, and I was like number one on my little call sheet. Yeah, it's funny. I've talked to a few of the other actors, and everyone kind of feels like they're the star of the movie in some ways.
This film is actually based on a true story that no one would believe unless they saw the proof. Starring Paul Dano, Pete Davidson, and Vincent D'Onofrio, a ragtag team of investors who banded together to put the squeeze on at least 2 hedge funds that had bet that GameStop shares would fall.
Dumb money is the term that I believe, Wall Street and official financial world people use to describe sort of the rest of us, the everymen, every women who try to get in on the game. And my understanding is that there's a group of folks who sort of just reclaim that as like, yeah, we're the dumb money and we're coming for you.
And what they saw was nothing like anything they or anyone else had seen before. Today we're going to go behind the scenes and explain this real-life story.
It's ironic that I'm doing this film because I have taken classes on investments. I have listened to friends for hours about investing. I have watched now probably 30 hours of YouTube. That's a lie. Maybe like 10 hours of YouTube videos about short squeezes and different types of phrasing when it comes to investments and money and trading, and I still don't understand it at all. Like, my brain was not built for mathematics or this world whatsoever.
But before we get further into this, some trivia for you. Pete Davidson is portrayed in this film as Kevin Gill, but what was his first film appearance? Leave your guesses in the comments down below and stick around to the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct.
He was really brave, and even in the testimony, he's real. You see the difference between these other guys and him, and that's why people responded to him, because he was being straight, He's like, you see the way that the others are skipping around answers. They're politicians. Like, he was being totally real even in the testimony, I felt.
2021 was when the first people started to get into the hands of people at Paramount Pictures. Craig Gillespie signed on as director, and with the intention of filming to start later that year, around summer or fall, and the film actually went into a retitlement. The book that it was based on was called The Antisocial Network.
The supposed clever success stories or leaders in this world refer to those of us that are just playing our weekly paycheck in the stock market or on the blackjack table as dumb money. We're not as smart as they are.
According to the film's synopsis, everyday people flip the script on Wall Street and get rich by turning GameStop into one of the world's hottest companies. In the middle of everything is Keith Gill, a regular guy who starts it all by sinking his life savings into the stock.
Like a lot of people, we watched the story of GameStop play out while it was happening and then quickly became obsessed with it. I mean, Roaring Kitty is such an incredible character. He's so smart, he's so singular, he's so funny.
When his social media posts start blowing up, so does his life and lives of everyone following him. As a stock tip becomes a movement, everyone gets wealthy until the billionaires fight back and both sides find their worlds turned upside down. Like I said, this film comes from a real-life story.
When the news report was on the radio talking about GameStop and sort of everything being upside down, I remember that was the messaging. Everything's upside down. Nothing makes any sense. And I'll just never forget that moment. I thought, this is the opening scene of a movie. I literally thought that.
But real quick, make sure you guys check out our Instagram page, linked down in the description. There's a ton of interview moments and memes, so make sure you check it out and give us a follow.
My character had invested tons of money in shorting GameStop stocks, which is essentially betting on the company's failure and profiting off of it. And Roaring Kitty found a way to boost the value of the company by imploring people to buy its stock, which made the people like Gabe, who invested in the company's failure, in a very financially catastrophic situation.
We get to hear from America Ferrera and who her character is and hearing about the real story.
Jenny is sort of doubling down all in for the cause nature is really something that I relate to. The digging our heels in and not budging, I can relate.
Keith Gill is also known by the name DFV on Reddit and on YouTube as Roaring Kitty. In 2019, he declared that the company's GameStop stock price was undervalued and put in $53,000.
We realized that the story to us was really about value and this idea of who determines value in a society, of a company like GameStop, but also the value of a human life. And I think with Keith Gill's point to some people was whether, why let people who have the most money in a society determine value?
In short, Gill's investment into the GameStop stock in June 2019, which was $5 per share at the time, inspired others to invest, known as the GameStop short squeeze, which caused several hedge funds and other investors to suffer significant financial difficulty, while retail investors gained large gains. Within 7 months, Gill's investment had reached $48 million.
What I like about this story is that although, like, when you're first reading it, the protagonists do seem to be kind of like the guys on the ground, the dumb money guys. But you also kind of understand, and there is you do feel the human in characters like Gabe Botkin and some of the guys on the other side. And I think it's important when you tell stories like this to understand both sides of the equation.
Interestingly enough, director Craig Gillespie, his son was actually in the action as well at the time. And we get to hear from him and how it was to watch everything go down during this crazy time.
I was living it vicariously through my son, who, he's 25 now, but back then, I guess he was 24, 23, he had invested in it early on. And he was going through the blow by blow. So he would come, and at the time it was COVID and he was living with us. So he had a lot at stake. He was doing the options. He was very much one of our central characters in a way.
The true story behind this is really something wild if you think about it. Gill was a financial analyst, so he didn't just pick a stock and become a millionaire. He did have some understanding of the stock market. At one point in 2021, he went from 50,000 shares to 200,000 shares. Along the road of the stock price going up and down and fluctuating throughout the years, he lost some and gained some.
My character is kind of like a junior billionaire in a world of bigger billionaires, and I actually think the biggest failure for these people is to look like they made bad bets and to have to be bailed out, basically, and to have to admit, I'm not a financial genius. I need more money. I made the wrong choice.
America Ferrera, who plays Jenny, gives her take on the term of dumb money and financial traders.
Jenny is sort of a conglomerate of a number of characters in the world and also in the book that the script is based on. And, what I was really drawn to in the character was that she doesn't fit squarely in any box or under anyone's labels or preconceptions of what, a single mom who works as a nurse would think and do and feel.
The main character who portrays Roaring Kitty tells what about this film that drew him to it and what he liked about Keith Gill when learning about him.
I spent a lot of time with Roaring Kitty, his YouTube channel, which I loved. And that was frankly the thing that really got me. The second I saw a video of him, I was like, oh yeah, I want to spend time with this person. I could use a piece of that. And, whatever the kitty is in me, that would be great.
As of now and where Gill is nowadays, he no longer works for Mass Mutual, though he has continued to invest in GameStop. According to reports, standing by his initial assessment that the company would turn around, he also no longer posts on his YouTube channel despite still having 500,000 subs.
He's a maniac. He's a brilliant maniac. We love Craig. We've been trying to work with him forever. There is no director better at capturing energy on screen, and we knew when we were writing the screenplay that we wanted it to fly like a bat out of hell, and we knew there was no one else who could do it quite like Craig Gillespie. He's incredible with music, he's incredible with actors, he's incredible with energy and story.
Nick Offerman, who plays Ken Griffin, walks us through what the film is all about in his eyes.
I was very grateful to read this script because it lays it out where I'm like, oh, now I see from a real person's point of view what this was all about, and it infuriated me so much more that this this billionaire was shorting, these stocks, that these clever working class people destroyed him.
Lastly, Shailene Woodley explains what she knows about the financial world.
As far as like research goes, a lot of it was me just, watching Keith and online, and also, again, watching YouTube videos about what the fuck a short squeeze was and what trying to understand like gamma, whatever it is.
And as far as the answer to our trivia question, Pete Davidson has been in a fair amount of films since 2014. However, it was in 2014 that his first film was School Dance as the character Stinkfinger. It was actually a musical comedy drama produced by Nick Cannon.
I'm not a cat. I am not an institutional investor, nor am I a hedge fund. I do not have clients, and I do not provide personalized investment advice for fees or commissions. I'm just an individual whose investment in GameStop and posts on social media were based upon my own research and analysis.
But we wanted to turn this around to you guys. What are your thoughts on this, and did you ever hear about the story when it was happening? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so thanks Nicholas, thanks Nick for tuning in, and I think that if there's a couple other viewers too, thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It's nice to have people tuning in for this, but it's just, yeah, I hope you had a good time, and hope maybe see you on the next stream as well. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and have a nice night. Cheers. Now I got to learn how to, this is my first time ending a stream. I don't even know how to end the stream. I think I just click end stream over here, I don't know. But let's see. Or do I stop on my OBS? I use OBS. Do I stop on OBS first? I'll probably just do end stream first. All right. Have a nice night.